The spooky season is upon us, and you know what that means on this channel. It is time to talk some scary, spooky Halloween movies all month long. I love this time of the year. I love doing these videos, even though it's a lot of extra videos, I don't care. I have so many movies lined up because after last year being a disappointment because I had COVID, this year I promise you're going to get a ton of them. You can also recommend me some right down below. All you gotta do is type a movie, and if I have reviewed it, I reviewed it. If I have not reviewed it and I haven't seen it, I'll definitely try my best to review it. But, like always, every year, I try to begin the month off with a classic, so let's go all the way back to 1931, and let's talk about a classic.
Here's Johnny!
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Expecto Patronum!
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Released in 1931, directed by James Whale comes Frankenstein. I mean, do I really need to explain a lot in this review? First off, this movie is like almost 100 years old, so spoilers, obviously. But, I mean, to really just go deep into this movie, here is the best way I can just talk about this movie. I have read the book. I read the book in 5th grade. I found it in the library, and my teacher allowed me to read the book. Because in 5th grade, they want you to have a criteria of like, read this, don't read this, that's too big for you. And she let me read Frankenstein. Yes, this is the honest God's truth. So I read Frankenstein. Have not read it since, it's been a long time. And so last night, I watched the original 1931 Frankenstein on Blu-ray, and let me just tell you, obviously, this movie's 1931. It's gonna be outdated in this world and climate. So today's audiences, I'm not gonna be like, hey, 10-year-old person, watch Frankenstein. No. But people who are just in love with the horror genre like me, or film in general, this is honestly a must-watch, taking this adaptation of this famous book, which is argued to be the very first book in entertainment to be adapted into a science fiction genre film, into a horror film. Universal did it, and now here we are. Colin Clive and Boris Karloff are both fantastic in this movie. Boris Karloff being the monster, no, that is not Frankenstein. A lot of people always mistake that. Colin Clive is Dr. Frankenstein. He is Frankenstein. Frankenstein's monster, Boris Karloff, is the famous monster come to life. It's alive, it's alive. Like, it's all coming from there. That is not Frankenstein. But these two performers, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, it's just, this is classic stuff. I mean, seriously, he plays a scientist trying to get these body parts to both sew together and then create the monster, which is Boris Karloff, and his performance alone is a generational's worth of performance studying how he creates this monster with no dialogue, being afraid of fire, the physicality, it's all there, and Boris Karloff is amazing in this movie, so is Colin Clive. Everyone in this movie is. I forget the actor's name who plays his sidekick, who obviously is the one that accidentally drops the good brain and takes off the bad brain and the whole incident of that. I forget his name, the actor's name, but basically, that guy is the same guy from Dracula who goes all mad. He plays the original Renfield. In this movie, he's this character. And my god, this entire cast is just fantastic. I also have to give James Whale's direction a big boost. Seriously, this is some flat out awesome direction. Yes, some of the sets look very outdated. Yes, you can tell the backgrounds are literally like paper flying in the wind. But hey, it was 1931. It's a classic story of bringing back the monster, making it trying to be a human, seeing how it can live in the human life, and obviously we see the death of a little girl by the monster, throwing her in the lake, whatever, which I will say, I think is one of the biggest plot holes in a movie ever. So the dad has her dead body, comes back into town. It's a great shot of literally him carrying this dead girl. Very dark moment, honestly. But he says she's been murdered. How do you know? She was by herself. Wouldn't you just assume she might have fell in? To me, that is one of the biggest plot holes in this movie. She's been murdered. I found her body like this. You found her drowned. So, like, how do you know someone got thrown? Like, how do you know he threw her in there? She might have slipped. She might have, like, played on the curve and just, like, fell into the water and drowned. But no, she was murdered. So, hey, biggest plot hole in my opinion. But I do actually have one issue for this movie. It's actually an issue that is personal. I read this book, and in the book, Dr. Frankenstein's wife is killed. In this movie, she is not. To me, that damages his entire character arc of bringing back the dead, bringing back a life, and at the very end, he survives, the monster dies in the windmill, and then he gets her and she's alive and they get married probably. That's a happy ending. I get it. It's a studio thing probably, but in my personal opinion, the story was damaged in this movie. I think that is a horrible decision to change. It's a good movie. It's a great movie. It's classic. But listen, me personally, I hate that. In the original book, she dies, and that is a huge character moment for him, and I think they kind of ruined it. But overall, like I said, the sets, the makeup on Boris Karloff, his performance, Dr. Frankenstein himself, it's alive, it's alive. I mean, it's all classic. It's a good hour, 20-minute movie or something like that. It's black and white. It's a classic. If you're a film lover, you need to watch it. I'm going to give Frankenstein a B+. And we are off. That is the first review of many coming. Like I said, leave a comment down below. Recommend some scary movies. If I've already reviewed it, then I probably won't re-review it. But hey, I have a lot planned. Like, guys, I might get annoying. So don't unsubscribe because how annoying I am. But I have a lot planned. All leading up to a very awesome Halloween review on Halloween Day. But guys, I'm going to go see more scary movies and start recording because I got a lot of work to do. Hope you guys enjoyed the first one and have a spooky night, everybody. Bye-bye now.